This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of Entertainment Hour on the Coast to Coast Entertainment or Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Wow, I'm still sick, so I apologize. And I found out I have pneumonia, so that doesn't help anything. But anyway, and I'm here with my co-host Chris B. Bacon. How you doing today, Chris?
I am doing good. Pneumonia is no fun. I've had it before. It's not all that fun.
Yeah, this is absolutely my first time ever having it. So I'm definitely not liking it, but so you're doing good though?
Doing good.
All right, cool. Yeah, and like I was saying, I'm still under the weather, got pneumonia, but hey, life goes on. I'm on medications now, so hopefully that goes away here in the next few days. And then we have Gene Carlson, my mother, commenting saying hi there, y'all. Hello, how's it going? Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the broadcast here. Chris, can you tell the viewers about the shows for C2C?
Sure. So let me see if I can pump it up again. Like always, entertainment hours tonight. You also have on deck on Saturday, and then during the season we have morning tailgate on Sunday. Tuesday is going to be Between the Ropes, and C2C Rankum. Also, I know we talked about Monday a little bit. We also have Monday, Bro Code, and I think Callan's show Press Row. Wednesdays also Press Row in Sports Minute. Thursdays usually kicking it with Isaiah and Ace, and then of course, today with Entertainment Hour.
All right, cool, Chris. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did end up running into some news. So the actor Zachary Ty Bryan, who is well known as the oldest son for Home Improvement, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, he was Brad. He was Brad Taylor on Home Improvement. He actually got arrested on the 17th, so about 6 days ago, for a DUI. And the thing is the fact that, you get celebrities, and I mean, even wrestlers who get arrested for the same thing, and
mm-hmm.
it really looks bad on you as a person being a celebrity. People look up to you. People, you're kind of a role model when it comes to being a celebrity. And yeah, you have to hold a higher standard on yourself and for yourself than a normal human being, because you are looked up, and people are gonna enjoy things that you do. And Doing things like getting arrested for DUIs really is not a good way to go as a celebrity. Anyways, so with this DUI, he ended up getting it because he got into a car accident. And when they checked him, I don't know exactly if he was drunk, if he was on something else. But he did get DUI and was arrested. Now here's my thing. I went and checked out his criminal records because there was a point that I saw he was arrested a few years back for assault on his girlfriend. And weirdly enough, it happened up north, about 2.5 hours, 3 hours from me, up in Eugene. So I was actually surprised that happened. But I mean, he's definitely got a criminal record. October of 2020, he had violent crimes against his girlfriend. And then in February of 2021, he pleaded guilty to 2 of those criminal charges. 6 charges were dropped. So the only sentencing he got was 3 years bench probation, and had to take batterer intervention programs, and had no contact with his girlfriend. And again, it happened here in Eugene, or here in Oregon, in Eugene. And then June of 2023, he was accused. This is interesting because I actually hadn't heard of this one. But June of 2023, he was accused of running a fraudulent agriculture technology startup scheme. He told 4 people about the publication that involved them giving Zachary individual payment amounts ranging from $5,000 to $25,000. So he was scamming people in exchange for a fake contract, which actually the contract had no value, obviously, because he was scamming them. He ended up making close to $50,000 for that scam. Ended up getting in trouble for that. And then July 28th of 23, he was arrested for assault again. I believe it was with his towards his girlfriend. And then, of course, on the 17th, arrested for the DUI. He ended up, Zachary Ty Bryant was charged with a misdemeanor because of contempt of court, and a felony for that DUI. So, my thing is my thoughts on that, Chris, is, do you think that he's already been charged, 5 times already, 5 different crimes. Do you think, it's going to get to a point that Hollywood's not going to want anything to do with him? I know there's actors out there like Charlie Sheen and a few others that continuously get in trouble with the law, but there's going to be a point where they're going to have to stop with Zachary. Do you see it happening? Yeah. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I kind of see it happening. It just depends on what he learned from it, I guess. I know looking and listening to what's been going on, with his criminal past, doesn't seem like he, learned all that much, but maybe he did at some instance. It just depends on what, Hollywood deems of he learned a lesson or he learned some lessons.
Yeah, he definitely needs some help.
Yeah.
You're looking from 2020 to 2024, all the crimes that he committed, and he's only 42 years old.
Yeah,
So
that's not good.
no. So you would think that at some point he needs to get some help, or he's going to probably eventually get blackballed and told not to act through Hollywood anymore. So hopefully again he gets some help. All this stuff was pretty much in Oregon. Again, 2.5, 3 hours away from me. Crazy as it sounds. So anyway, yeah, that's my thought. He needs to get some help.
Definitely.
And I mean, he was a really good actor on Home Improvement. I know he's been in other shows, but I haven't really seen him in any others. But he was a good actor in that show that I did see. So, anyways, moving on from that, we're going to talk about movies or TV shows that we've seen this week. Have you watched any shows this week at all, or TV?
Ooh, I haven't. How about you?
No, I have. I do every week just so I can just put it
All right.
on here. I did end up watching Dumb and Dumber or Dumb and
Good movie.
Dumber. I really like that movie. Actually, what got me to watch it was the fact that I was reading something off to my mom the other night, and Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber, and Mask both came up, and
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, I like the Mask, but not as much as Dumb and Dumber. So I'm just like, I'm gonna watch Dumb and Dumber because I really like that movies, and so I watched it. I mean, for those that haven't watched it, I mean, 1994, Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels are in it, and it's just about two broke guys who end up losing their job. They find Jim Carrey finds his briefcase. They go all the way to Aspen, Colorado to give it back to her, and just a bunch of funny things along the way as they're trying to give this briefcase to her, which was not meant for her. It was meant for someone else. So yeah, it's a really good movie. I really enjoy it. And yeah, if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it.
And it seems like too that every Halloween somebody a couple people always dress up as the characters from Dumb and Dumber.
I could see that, and maybe eventually one year when I feel like dressing up again, I just might dress up like I'd probably just dress up like Jim Carrey.
There you
So
go.
dress up as a limo driver and
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll probably end up doing that one day just to be funny. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to album of the week. Do you have a specific album you want to mention?
Yeah, so there's a wrestling event going on in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it'd be interesting to find, and I'm still kind of looking, an artist that was from Australia. I'm still looking, but maybe you can, tell us what yours is first.
What?
Maybe you can go ahead first while I'm still
Oh, okay,
searching.
gotcha. Yeah, my ears kind of clogged. So,
It's
um,
okay.
my album of the week. I've been on a George Strait kick. This week, I even posted on Facebook about it, but I've been listening to George Strait. There was a point I was trying to listen to this other artist, but he is so stubborn about about his content being on anything streaming. Um, you know, he is stubborn. He doesn't want his content out there. So mostly, if you go on YouTube or I've got Spotify. If you go on Spotify, is less likely that you will find his content, but you will find backup bands and backup singers who will sing his songs. Which I'd rather hear the real artist. But anyway, album of the week is by Garth Brooks. And the album is No Fences, because and I literally bought so that I don't have to worry about trying to search for his music and everything. I literally just last few days bought a Garth Brooks black disc set. Has like all of his CDs from the past. I want to say from when he started till about early 2000s, I think, and it's just easier for me to listen to Garth Brooks that way, because he is absolutely the number 2 on my all-time greatest singers list of all time. So, anyway, No Fences. It was released in 1990. And a few songs from there is Thunder Rolls, Friends in Low Places, and Unanswered Prayers. So, and every album I've been doing on this show so far has been albums that I could just listen straight through over and over. I'd never get tired of it. This is just another one. So, yeah, I know some people don't like country, and I get it, but I feel that Garth isn't just country. He does he makes his music kind of country, but also kind of rock and roll in that aspect too. So, kind of half and half, 30, 70 kind of thing. So, anyway, that's my album of the week.
That's a good one. I found one for me. It's Keith Urban. I forgot he was Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, him and his wife, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And I thought that was interesting. I can't remember any of his songs, but I think he did American Idol as a judge at one point.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of his songs are popular. A lot of people in my family like him too. So we'll go with Keith Urban.
Okay, yeah, I'm not a real big Keith Urban fan. There are a couple songs I do like of his. And it just left my mind. But yeah, there are a couple songs I do like from him, but I never really even liked Keith Urban very much, and has nothing to do with getting married to Nicole Kidman, because I'm kind of jealous about that. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, and he is definitely from Australia. I think him marrying Nicole Kidman, who's also from Australia, I think that relationship worked out, all together with even with Nicole Kidman. So yeah, good choice there. And now we're moving on to I chose top 5 celebrity birthdays for today. And I went through the list of birthdays today, and I was surprised. Gene Carlson says, "Hey, Dragon Viper, I thought you were going to talk about George Strait. Remind me, mother. Remind me for next week, and I'll, depending on if I do the show or if James comes back and does the show, remind me, because I forgot." Anyway, so anyway, we're going off of top 5 celebrity birthdays today. My top 5 that I have, there were a few shockers. I have Dakota Fanning. A couple of movies she was in was I Am Sam. She played that at the age of 7 in 02. She voiced a character in the movie Caroline in 2009. But she's turning 30. Another celebrity's birthday today is Patricia Richardson. Well, we talked about Home Improvement, Zachary Ty Bryan. Well, the mother for Home Improvement. And again, she's been in many movies and stuff, but I'm just naming the show that I remember her in. She's turning 73 today. Now, here's the interesting thing.
Mhm.
So, this artist, he's turned 69 today, and I had no idea this guy was still alive, but I guess he is. Anyway, the man who is the voice behind Motel 6 commercials, Tom Bodett.
We'll leave the
When he
light on for you.
says, "We'll leave the light on for you." And talks about Motel 6, stuff on the commercials. So, yeah, I was surprised that he's actually still alive. I thought he was way older than he is, but yeah, he's turning 69 today. Ed Too Tall Jones.
Mhm.
For us two Cowboy players, we know who he is. And football fanatics and everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ed Too Tall Jones, and he went by Too Tall because he felt like he was too tall for football. So he just stuck with that nickname. Anyway, he did play for the Cowboys. He was in there from 1974 to 1978. That's right. And then 1980 to 1989. He's actually turning 73 today. And then the last celebrity I have written down is Seth Gold. The Golds have an amazing pawn shop show called Hardcore Pawn
I've
on
heard of
True
that.
TV. And they have another one out there, Pawn Stars. I wasn't real big with Pawn Stars. Mine was Hardcore Pawn because I don't know, it just seemed more exciting of a show. Anyway, the son, Seth, is actually turning 43 today.
Wow.
And if anybody ever ends up in Detroit, go to American Jewelry and Loan because you would be living my dream. I want to go there at least once, but I don't see myself going to Detroit anytime soon. So
Not for NFL draft.
not even for an NFL draft. So, but one of these days in the future, I want to actually go to Detroit, and that's definitely going to be one place that I'm gonna go to. But yeah, again, Seth Gold is turning 43 today. Now, did you end up making a list too?
I did.
One?
Yeah, I got one. You're doing the 23rd, right?
Yes.
Okay. Emily Blunt will be 1. Dakota Fanning 2. We'll go baseball player D'Angelo Russell. A lot of these birthdays seem to be like social media stars, and it's like I don't know who who they're talking about really, but we'll go TV actress Emily Jones, and we'll go. I'm probably gonna mess up this name. TV actor Aziz Ansari, I guess his name is.
Yeah, you pretty much got it. I know exactly where you're at.
Okay.
It's Aziz Ansari. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's turning 41 today.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But a lot of
but
them are like YouTube stars, TikTok stars, and it's like I don't.
yeah, it's on the website famousbirthdays.com. They
Mm-hmm.
have all different types of celebrities, well-known people. Although what's funny is where they have the YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. I don't know how they're well known, but
Right.
I guess I don't watch a lot of TikTok or Instagram or YouTube to see who's famous and who's not. So, but they also have um, relatives on this page too, where they have family members, and it could be husbands or wives of celebrities or kids or parents or siblings. So I really like that website, and that's where I get all my information from when it comes to the birthdays. So if anybody ever wants to know whose birthday it is that current day, just go to famousbirthdays.com. There's a plug for that website. There's a plug.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's the celebrity birthdays of today. And then I had to come up with a couple other topics here, but
Yeah.
so we end up coming up with a top 10 list. 10 movies with athletes that make cameos in those movies. So, and it could be any athlete, any sport. Um, and yeah, so go ahead, Chris, and do your top 10.
So yeah, it was very um hard to decide which athletes to put in there. I think I got a good combination of athletes. So let's see. I'm trying to think. Go ahead first.
Okay. My top 10 I have is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, has Dan Marino in it. I mean, and I did Dan Marino twice because he's Dan Marino is like one of the major athletes that enjoyed being in cameos of other in movies. So I had to do Dan Marino again, and that was for Bad Boys 2. Because I really enjoyed Bad Boys, the second version of Bad Boys. Then I have, I had to do it. Lawrence Taylor for Waterboy.
Oh yeah.
He standing there talking with the Waterboy, telling kids don't smoke crack, and they're all shaking their head after Bobby Boucher talked. So I enjoyed that. And then I have Bam Bam Bigelow for for I have it written down. I crossed it off, but it is down there. Crap, now I have to look it up. Hold on. I'm sorry. He was in How did I forget? I did forget Major Pain. So I did enjoy the fact Bam Bam Bigelow was in Major Pain. I enjoyed it, and Bam Bam Bigelow is acting like a biker and, still gets beat up by, Damian Wayans. So, and then another one I have is John McEnroe for Mr. Deeds. I really, I kind of like John McEnroe. I know he's got an attitude and things like that, but I did enjoy him in that movie. And then you have Shaquille O'Neal in Good Burger. You know, I watched it when I was a teenager, but I still enjoyed seeing Shaq on that movie. He made that cameo on there. And, you know, basketball had one of the greatest race car drivers ever with Dale Earnhardt Sr. I did enjoy basketball. It was funny, but Dale Earnhardt Sr. does make a cameo in there. Then I have Airplane, which is every time I've watched it, and I watch it a lot, but it does have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in it. So definitely a movie I enjoy with his cameo. Space Jam has, not counting Michael Jordan because that's not a cameo, but
No.
I did include Larry Bird in it.
That's right.
Because he does do a couple cameos when he's golfing with Bill Murray and Michael Jordan. So I did put in Larry Bird as a cameo in that. And then The Longest Yard, you had
a lot.
Multiple. And we're talking about the Adam Sandler version.
Yeah.
You have multiple athletes in that.
What,
because I wasn't
Big
thinking.
Show.
Huh?
What, you had a couple wrestlers. You had. I know Michael Irvin was in it.
Michael Irvin. You had other football players in there.
Mm-hmm.
But because I completely spaced about the Water Boy and the Big Show also cameo in that movie, or whatever he's being called nowadays in AEW, but I know him as Big Show.
Yeah.
Captain Insano. But so I didn't include Big Show, so I had to include some wrestling athletes in this. So I did include The Longest Yard, Goldberg. For you, Ace, out there, if you're watching, because we all know how you love Goldberg. But Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Nash, and the Great Khali. And that at that point, it was before the Great Khali even became a WWE wrestler.
Really?
So he wasn't even known as Khali. In fact, here's a funny thing. I would talk about Khali being in The Longest Yard, and people would disagree with me. They'd be like, "No, he was not in The Longest Yard." I'm like, "Yes, he is. It is the Great Khali." "No, it's not. Khali's different." And I'm like, "Look at the face. You could tell it is the Great Khali, dude. Come on." So, yeah, I had to choose them. And yes, for those that still don't believe it, yes, the Great Khali is in that movie.
I bet people are going, huh?
Yeah, except he wasn't a wrestler yet, but he became one after, even though he probably shouldn't have been.
Ooh, hot take.
And he can't move. I'm sorry, he sucks. And then the 10th movie that I have is The Hangover Part 2 with Mike Tyson.
Okay, yeah.
So with dealing with that his white tiger, and stuff like that in that movie, yeah, Mike Tyson was in there. So I thought that was pretty good. And then before we get to your list, we have Greg Galino. Thank you for watching. He commented saying failure to launch with Terry Bradshaw, Hidden Gems with Kevin Garnett, The Hangover. Okay, so he agreed with me on Mike Tyson, and The Running Man with Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown. And then Lance Armstrong and Dodgeball. Yeah, I saw that, and I was gonna do that one too, but I didn't. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I got that. Actually, I got that one in my list, but I'll go through 10 through 1. A lot of the movies I kind of forgot who was in it per se, But number 10 will be Rocky 3. It had, the celebrity or athlete cameos was, or they put boxer Hulk Hogan, but we all know it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers. I guess those are the only two in there. Number 9 will be Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah.
It had Dale Earnhardt Jr. in it, and NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson, not the coach. Number 8 would be The Naked Gun. Would be baseball legends Reggie Jackson. He played himself basically.
Yeah.
The 1998 version of The Water Boy. It had Lawrence Taylor, Jimmy Johnson, the coach, and Bill Ramowski, as well as Adam Sandler. Happy Gilmore would be another one. Who had Lee Trevino, a golfer.
Yep.
Number 5 will be Anchorman from 2004, who had Luke Wilson, in there. Number 4 would be Space Jam. Unfortunately, on this part, it's the 2021 version with, yeah. That's the only downfall. They also had Damian Lillard in it, as well as LeBron James, and a few WNBA players. Number 3, the 2005 Longest Yard, which had Michael Irvin, Brian Bosworth, and a few others. Number 2, Dodgeball, Lance Armstrong.
Yep.
And number 1, the original Space Jam with Michael Jordan.
I'm glad you redeemed yourself right there with the original. Because, oh my God, I've ranted about this when I first saw it, when it first came out, about that, first or the second Space Jam with LeBron.
I never watched it.
Yeah, I watched it, and when we did this show a few years ago,
oh yeah,
I ranted about that show, saying it was terrible. LeBron can't act. He, and I still feel that way to this day, 3 years later. So, yeah, no.
I guess my honorable mention would have been Entourage, the movie, not the series, which had a bunch of, I guess, wrestlers and a couple football players.
I knew Ronda Rousey was one.
Ronda Rousey was one. I think that was the only wrestler that was in there. But it also had Russell Wilson and Gronk. Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have Greg saying Heinz Award in The Dark Knight Rises. I've never actually seen that movie.
I never have either, and I never knew. Excuse me, he had a role.
Yeah, I never seen it. One of these days we should try and have what is your favorite Batman movie, or your top 3 Batman movies? Because I don't know. I haven't seen many after what was it? Batman and Robin. So,
Right.
but
Well,
yeah,
you can count, like, I guess as far as Batman goes, you could count animated shows, the movie remakes, and
yeah,
I don't know. You could go way in depth with that.
yeah, we could. Anyway, so moving on. Now that football is over, um,
Mhm.
have you replaced football with other shows? Are you watching less TV since football's over, or
Um,
has other sports replaced the football?
I'm still, I guess, trying to find things to watch. Maybe some other sports are kind of, being replaced with football. I just haven't found any yet, but we're in, a couple of them are kind of winding down their seasons. But I guess you could say I'm trying to find something.
Yeah, definitely kind of. I would I wouldn't watch a lot of. I guess you would say I wouldn't watch a lot of football. I'd watch certain teams. Um, certain teams play, but I wouldn't say that I would be one of those that would sit there all day Sunday and watch every single football that came on, or Monday night, or even Thursday night. It had to be certain teams that I like.
Hmm.
And yes, Big B, if you're ever watching this, there are more than one team I do like on the list of things I like. So, but
What are the teams?
oh, of
Well,
course, everybody
besides,
knows the
yeah.
Cowboys. I also, because of my family, I like the Bengals. And because, and I'm gonna throw this out there, mother, I kind of do like the Dolphins, only because of my mom. Um, and then Seattle because I have family that likes Seattle too. Although the Bengals I like because not only is my family in Ohio huge Bengals fans, but they actually go to the Bengals games every
Mhm.
year. VIP passes, they do it all. Season passes, things like that. So they're a huge Bengals fan, and because of them, I go for the Bengals too. Um, but yeah, those are pretty much the games that I focus on. And then the teams that I hate are the Buccaneers, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Packers, the
Right. So
but
you like
anyway,
all the teams. You like all the teams.
yeah, I like all but you know 20
Right.
teams.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, so yeah, I with that question, I generally, I guess I could say that I watch less TV now. I watch what I usually watch during the week. I've been kind of watching it during the week, but then when it comes to like Sundays, I usually just go out on drives. I go back on drives now, listen to music. I do what I love, and that's driving. So I don't have to worry about am I missing a game? Am I uh, you know gonna have to go on NFL.com and look at the scores and what is my on my team's uh, winning? Are they losing? Did they win? Did they lose? I don't have to worry about that. But football is definitely the number one sport that I do watch. So
Same.
that's one reason why. That's actually one reason why you won't see me on the actual sports shows on this network because I don't really. I mean, I'm trying. I want to get back into NASCAR, but other than that, I don't really pay much attention to other sports right now, and so I don't have teams or anything that I like. But back to the question again, squirrel. Um,
Squirrel.
uh, yeah, I definitely watch less TV right now with football gone. for
Yeah.
the rest of the season. So, and then I think there was there's one last topic that we're gonna talk about, or it's another list. Top 10 shows either through streaming or TV, especially because there's more and more shows going to streaming from TV that you can constantly watch from beginning to end, first season to last season, and never get tired of it.
Ooh.
So, do you have your list?
Yeah. One would be Big Bang Theory. Two would probably Full House if you want to go back a little bit. And then number 3 would be three's kind of tough. We'll go. I don't know about the third one. How I Met Your Mother. I don't know. That's tough.
Well, I didn't help when I set it up. I didn't help on
No, I got it
what
from like
years.
you
but-
pick the season and you're like, I could sit down and watch it from the start to the end.
Yep.
But there's a lot of good shows out there, so it's like, which one do you
Yeah.
pick from? What's your list?
All right. This is what I got. And it's in no particular order, but I ended up writing down or getting Boy Meets World. Absolutely love that show. In fact, I think that would have been number one if it was in order. So, but yeah, Boy Meets World. I love it. Sometimes I would think my life was almost like Boy Meets World at some point. I'm a good guy. I got ended up becoming best friends with somebody who was on the wrong side of the track. Raised on the wrong side of tracks. And then go through life like that. So I love that show. I even watched the spinoff Girl Meets World, but it absolutely Boy Meets World. I can go from season 1 all the way to the final season and never get tired of it. Now this one I'm probably going to get laughed at because this wasn't a very popular show on MTV, and I just happened to stumble upon it one time. Okay, I watched Beavis and Butthead, and they were watching this show, and I started watching it, and I got hooked to it. So I may get made fun of this, but Jersey Shore.
My dad liked that show. I never really saw it. So.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really like Beavis and Butthead. But they part of Beavis and Butthead, what they'll do is they'll sit there, they'll watch a rock video, or they'll, especially in season 4, they will sit there and watch TV shows. They watch, 16 and Pregnant. They'll watch
So
music
basically,
videos.
anything from MTV.
Yeah, anything from MTV, music videos, 16 and Pregnant, Jersey Shore. And so I'm just, there was a couple shows that they would watch that I'm just kind of like, I'm going to watch. I mean, there was a movie they watched that I'm not going to announce because I never want to see that movie again. But the TV show that they were watching, I'm like, I'm going to check it out because it kind of looks funny. So, and the way Beavis and Butthead were watching it and would commentate with it, it was funny. So I was like, okay, I'll try it out. I tried it out, and it's not really. It's kind of funny, but it's more of a drama show. So my next pick is Jersey Shore. Like I said, I'll probably get laughed at, but I mean, thank God we are. People are different, because if we're all the same, it would be boring.
Right.
So that is another one. And then Charmed. Who doesn't like three ass kicking witches that destroy evil?
Right.
I enjoy it, especially with my first time girlfriend Alyssa Milano. I have to watch it. Okay, crush. Sorry, not girlfriend, crush. Wannabe girlfriend. Uh, so I got Charmed, and then I know my mom's gonna cringe at this one, but I put Roseanne because I can watch it from season 1 to season 8, no problem. I can
No
watch it
reboot?
all day. And then same thing with this one, Sons of Anarchy. I can never get tired of watching it. I don't know if it's the biker personalities that I like on that show, or if it's the action behind the show, or with the show, but I really enjoy, and I can watch it constantly. The next one is Friends. Who doesn't like Friends?
Friends is good, yeah.
I mean, people who actually would sit there and watch it from season 1 all the way till the final season, who actually does not like it. So, I mean, I know people out there don't, but they haven't watched the entire, um, season 1 to the final season. They haven't actually binge watched it. They'll watch parts of it and go, "Oh, this is stupid," and then they'll change the show. But people who actually sit there and watch it from the beginning to the end, it's great. I enjoy it. So
I,
that's it.
I think a lot of people think that with sitcoms like Seinfeld or something like that, you don't necessarily have to watch it, episode by episode, because maybe they think that each episode is almost feels like a standalone.
Yeah, well,
I,
some
I,
some shows have dry humor, and
right.
actually, I did find Seinfeld as one with dry humor that I couldn't really laugh much at. Um,
Yeah, I couldn't either.
and then after Friends, I have Stranger Things. Still waiting for season 5, dude. Should be out next year. Looking forward to it. But seasons 1 through 4, I can watch over and over and over and not get tired of it. And yeah, definitely waiting for number 5. They better hurry up before these kids get way too old to look like they should be in high school. Um, and then, of course, I had to put WWE Raw. I can
Okay,
watch.
that is episodic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can definitely watch from when Raw started in '93 up until now, without getting sick of it, except for when they brought Pat McAfee on. Now I have to mute it to watch it, but yeah, I'll never get sick of going from episode 1 all the way till now of Monday Night Raw. Except again, I have to mute it when Pat McAfee's there. And then I've got Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Will Smith's amazing. Will Smith's incredible. And so I can never get tired of that show. And then I'm gonna say The Nanny. I know Fran Drescher's voice annoys people, and it kind of does for a little bit there, but
A little bit. Yeah.
I have seen interviews with her in real, or
During the writer strike or whatever.
Yeah, but when she does her interviews, she actually has a normal voice.
I always
But
find that interesting when they, they step away from like their actor voice or whatever,
yeah,
and it just talk normal. It's like, huh?
well, look at okay, and here's an example. Have you watched Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
Okay, the actor Charlie Hunnam, who plays the character Jax or Jackson Teller, he is Canadian. You can't really tell on the show he is. I had no idea when I watched that show the first time that he was Canadian. Then he goes on an interview, and I'm listening to him, and you could tell his Canadian accent is heavy on on this interview I was watching. But on the show, you can't hardly tell he's Canadian or has that accent. So that amazed me. Well, it's the same with the nanny. Fran Drescher's voice annoys people on the show, but her real voice is definitely not what her voice is on the show. Um, so anyway, let's see, and then we have comments from Gene
Yeah.
saying, "How did we meet Chris P. Bacon? Oh, a TV show. Hey, that would be a good TV show."
Yeah, I would.
And
Uh,
then Christy Wilson saying, "Hi guys, hi Christy,
hey,
how's things going?" She says, "I've been watching AEW Dynamite since the beginning." Yeah,
off and on. Yeah.
yeah. I think I watched like one episode, and because so many brand new names, I don't know.
There's a lot of familiar names now.
Yeah, now that AEW is taking in more and more WWE released wrestlers. And then Chrissy says, "I love this show called Hometown on HGTV. Never heard of it."
I think
Charlie
I have.
Hunnam is actually Brit. I actually looked it up and it said Canadian, so um, maybe I could be wrong. I don't know, but yeah, last I read, he could. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought I read he was Canadian. Because he had that Canadian accent, but I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different actor. Who knows? But um, anyway, so that's my top 10. Um, because I can't think very well. Did you do or do you have a more of a top 10 or?
I don't, but you're talking about dry humor on some shows. I kind of felt that way with The Office
Yeah,
at times because I would watch and I'll go, when do we laugh? 'Cause I'm confused a little bit, you
yeah.
know?
I had a coworker. Um, he was watching The Office one time, and I'm sitting there trying to watch it, and I'm just like, dude, this sucks. This is not funny. Um, and he's like, "Are you kidding? It's hilarious." I'm like, "Where?" Like, this is called The Office with, and I don't mind what's his face in in that show. I don't mind him. I kind
Steve
of like him
Carell.
in like Evan Almighty and stuff like that. But um, yeah, I don't really care for that show. It's stupid. Um, and then Christy comments and says, "Have you guys ever watched Yellowstone?" I
A
think I watched
couple of them. Yeah.
2 episodes. I was sitting there at a place where I was staying at for a little while, and they were watching Yellowstone, and I kind of watched like 2 episodes. And Jason Barber says, "Are you kidding me?" No, I'm not kidding you. The Office is a terrible show, and I don't know how it's run for as long as it has, because where can you laugh? There's not a lot of places where you can laugh. So if that's what you're talking about, um, Dragon Viper is going for a world record. Yeah. Anyway, and Christy Wilson says didn't care for The Office myself. So and I know my mom. I think my mom's tried watching it one time years ago, and I don't. And she didn't even care for it.
It
So
is funny at times, but I don't know. Some points
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So it's at that point we actually did hit the hour mark this time. I must be feeling a little better. Stupid pneumonia. Anyway, is there anything else you want to mention or final thoughts?
Thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. Great show, and stay with Coast to Coast, for all of our shows coming up. Also, over on Facebook, if you can, you can support the show with stars. That helps keep us on the network and keep streaming. So, thanks everyone for watching.
All right, thank you, Chris. And yes, just like Chris said, thank you for watching. Everybody that commented, we do enjoy the comments. That helps us go along with the show, the flow of the show. And I guess that's it. So everybody have a good night. And Jason Barber says stars like movie stars. What I don't get it. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good night and thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. And hopefully James is doing good and he'll be on next week as well. So with that being said, everybody have a good night and have a good weekend.